Do you airbrush? And if so, do you use an Iwata? Or do you use a Badger? Badger. What's going on, guys? Freak here from the channel Froth and Fizz, and I want to welcome you to this video. A couple of things that I want to share with you is basically I'm going to do a review on two of these airbrushes. Give you a little backstory. First of all, Mythos and I have been airbrushing for approximately about 2 years now, and we both started using the Masters version of Airbrush. Is very similar. Basically, they are knockoffs of the Iwata. We got very comfortable with those particular ones, and then I had gotten a better one. Next level, Mythos had problems with one of the master that he had, so I gave him my other one. Anyway, so he went through a couple of airbrushes, and he's had some issues with it. Some accidents happened. He was rolling ones. You guys know what that means. And long and short, basically, it fell, broke, no airbrush. Most of you that are familiar with airbrushes understand that especially the Masters are very similar to the Iwata. Really easy to use. They're basically little workhorses. Great for the price. You can get it for 20 bucks on Amazon. It's a great starter airbrush if you're just starting out learning. Gets you in the game very easily, very quickly. Again, it's a very easy, very inexpensive tool that you can get, and they're very much available. Okay. Again, they resemble the Iwatas, and that's basically what they try to model. All right. Matter of fact, you can actually get replacement needles. You can use the Iwata needles in the Masters, and it'll work just fine. So a lot of replacement parts that you can get for those. Okay. Anyway, long and short is that when his last airbrush, his last Master airbrush, like I said, went to pieces, he went ahead and ordered another airbrush, which was cool. I'm glad he did. But he went Badger. Okay. I personally had gone with the Iwata. Okay. I like the Iwata. I was used to the Master, which is similar to the Iwata. And I decided I'm going to stick with that same product. I'm familiar with it, I'm comfortable with it, I'm going to go with it. And I like it. I don't regret my decision. Okay. Mythos got the really cool Badger, the Extreme. And I know some of you guys who actually airbrush, who use that particular airbrush or a Badger product in general, and speak extremely highly of it, which is great. Okay. And by the way, this is all my opinion. Anything that I say is not gospel, so don't hold me to the fire. Don't start, threatening to burn my house down and all that stuff. Again, these are my opinions on my personal tastes. Doesn't mean anything. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the comparison. So right here, this is the Iwata. Let me backtrack before I start doing that. And the reason why I'm actually doing this video is because Mythos has come by the house and he says, hey, I'm not quite comfortable with the Badger. For some reason, I'm having a hard time getting acclimated to it. And I said, okay, well, what is the issue? He says he's not sure. He says it almost seems like, when he's, starting to spray, it'll spray, then, it'll just start dumping product all over the place and just making a mess everywhere, and really doesn't, it's not as controllable for him as it was when he was using the Master, which is, like I said, an Iwata knockoff. So I told him I'd go ahead and take a look at it and, try to see if I can figure something out. Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I've never used a Badger before. I've done a lot of reviews. I've heard a lot of good. I've heard some not good. I heard the same thing for Iwata. But because I'm familiar with the Iwata brand, or at least the model, I was pretty comfortable with getting that. So anyway, so let's do the comparison, shall we? So again, here is my Iwata. This is the Iwata Revolution. very sleek, very slender, very comfortable, very solid airbrush. Yeah, I mean, look at it. I love the contours. I love the fact that, you know, the base is fairly reasonably thick, and then it kind of thins down here, so it'll fit nicely between your thumb and your index finger, and then it kind of, you know, thickens up on the end, so it kind of sits there really well. The trigger is smooth, doesn't catch, you know, and it's just the right height. I don't feel like I need to. It's not awkward. The bowl is rather deep and pretty easy to clean. Okay, it does come with the nozzle guard in case I need to go ahead and clean the tip. Some of you guys actually are, you know, total badasses. You can just throw it away and keep going. I don't trust myself. If I start rolling ones and I drop this thing, bent tip, that's it. You're done. Game over. Yeah. So anyway, you can get a model like this for roughly about $160, $170 on Amazon. Sometimes you can get them cheaper. Again, like I said, this is made in Japan, and the compressor that I use is an actual master's compressor, quiet, what you call it. But anyway, and it works great. I love it, man. I've been using it for a while. Just about all my my stuff that I've been airbrushing. This is what I'm pushing through right here. This bad boy. Really enjoy this. Okay, and here is the Badger. This is the Mythos. This is the one that he just got. It's the Badger Extreme. This is made in the United States, here in USA. And a couple things that I can tell you right now. It is a solid airbrush. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's made with gunmetal. The actual metal, that's what it looks like. It feels like it. I don't know if it needs to be oiled. It almost feels like I need to oil it, you know, to kind of protect it. The bowl is as deep as the Iwata. Looks great. I don't like the idea that it does not come with a guard. So I don't recommend it for people who are just starting out, because I'm telling you, if you drop this, you will destroy the needle, and that's it. You're done. The needle is key when it comes to airbrushes. I like that it does have this nut. Okay, the nut releases or loosens, so you can pull the needle out to clean it. You know, really good feature. I like the slot. The slot is there in order for it to kind of wrap around. I don't know if you can see that around your index finger. This piece here, it looks like they added that in order to make it a little more comfortable to hold the airbrush. If you notice, this airbrush is just straight. It's straight pencil. You know, it's like compared to the Iwata contours, you know, is a little more ergonomic, while this is straight. There's nothing really ergonomic about it. One thing that I'm not crazy about is the really high trigger. I mean, you can tell just comparing the two. Look at that. The triggers are two different heights. I'm not nuts about it at all. It is smooth. It's easy to pull back. I don't feel any catch. Another thing is, I'm not crazy that there's a lot of needle exposed there, which means that the more that the needle gets exposed, the more that if there's any product on it, it will dry and you'll have to clean it. But again, the cool thing about it is you still have this feature. You can loosen the nut, take the needle out and clean it and put it back in. So again, it's covered. And that's pretty much it. This is a $200 product. Again, I think, you know, value-wise, I think it is definitely, you know, worth it. I've seen a lot of reviews that, you know, this little bad boy does good work. So we're going to try it out. We can compare the two, and we're going to go table down here in just a minute. So stay with me. Okay, guys, we are back. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with the Iwata. I already got the Iwata with primer in it. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to prime this half with the Iwata and paint, and then we're going to prime this side of the Aquila with the Badger. All right, and let's see how it works out. Okay, here's the Iwata. Nice smooth clean strokes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this Aquila gold. Anyways, that's nice and prime there. By the way, this Aquila was 3D printed, which is really cool. That's why you see some of the little filaments left over. I should be wearing a mask. Probably be hacking a lung later. My wife's gonna kill me. Alright, so that's primed. Okay, we'll be back and we're gonna start with the base coat, which is brown, and then we're going with the gold. Okay guys, so now I've got the brown ready, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna base coat it with Game Color Smoky Ink. Alright. Like I said, we're going to only do one side with the Iwata, and the other side we're going to do it with the Badger. Alright, give me a second, let that just about dry. So, let's see here. Alright, let's dry that a little bit. Alright, here we go. So you can see I have a lot of really control with the Iwata. Fine line here if I can here. Not very fine, but there we go. That'll be our boundary. Okay. Man, this looks so good and brown. I love the transition. Almost like wood. Oh yeah, it looks like wood. See? Things need a nice good layer, because the gold is going to have to lay on top of that. Sorry, keep it in the camera, I apologize. Alright, I think it's good enough. We'll let that dry, and we'll start with the gold. Be right back. Alright guys, so now what we're going to do is we've got the base coat down for the gold. We're going to use two different types of gold, right? The first gold is going to be Glorious Gold from Vallejo Game Air. And then we're going to highlight it with a brighter gold. This bad boy here, I love this stuff. The metal colors, this thing comes out really cool. So we'll see how it turns out. Anyway, this is metal color gold. Nothing fancy. Alright, let's get to work. Shall we? Alright, here we go. Okay. Looks pretty good. I'm getting a little bit of clog. I have to thin down that gold because it is a little thick. Most metallics are. Even Game Air. Alright. And then we'll move on with the highlight, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I want to share this part with you because, again, having issues with the airbrush may not really be the airbrush, it may be the type of paint. This particular paint, the metal color that I showed you earlier, is very, very thin. So we're not going to, look how thin that is. I mean, it just drops right in. So we're not going to thin that out, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to do kind of a top-down highlight and see how it shows up. Yeah. Sorry, camera again. Alright, so there you go. Really, really sexy Aquila. Turned out better than I expected. Okay, so now the part for the cleaning, right? That's important. So we're going to clean this airbrush. So basically the way I clean it, there's a gold product in there. We're going to use the airbrush cleaner. Put a little bit in there. Typically they'll tell you to dilute it with water. I'm not going to use it the rest of the night, so we're going to do backflow. Basically you block the airflow and it's going to back into the bowl. So you kind of churning and bubbling and boiling the water or the solution there, and then basically you can take a nasty cup, this is my catch-all, and just dump it. There, look at all that gook. Then I'll just blow out the rest. Then I'll take a paper towel and clean it out really good, you know. And there you go, look at that, man, nice and clean. Make sure my tip's clean, everything looks good. Alright, so this is done. So now we're going to go ahead and see how we do with the Badger. Again, this is the Iwata, the Iwata Revolution. Alright, now for the Badger. Okay guys, I'm back, and now I have the Badger. Okay, we're going to go ahead and prime the other side of the Aquila, being very careful not to cover the side that we've already done. So here we go. Wow, lots of quick coverage. Wow, I'm impressed actually. But it does dry tip really fast. I'm not crazy about that, but like I said, the coverage, I mean, when it sprays, man. So I'm very impressed with this. Very nice. Okay. That was fast actually. It took me a little longer to, it took me a little longer to prime with my Iwata, because I think the pressure, the way Iwata was set, the difference between the pressure in Iwata and the Badger always has a higher pressure, always, no matter how you set it. Right now I'm running everything at 35 psi from my compressor, and of course everything self-regulates when it goes through the airbrush. But it took me no time at all to, wow, no time at all to prime this. So anyway, give me a few minutes and we'll be back. Let that dry. Okay guys, back to the Badger. We're now going to go ahead and do the base coat. No, it's not 100% dry, but it's okay. We'll dry with the airbrush a little bit, because I want to get this through here. Dry that baby up. That's good enough. Okay, so this is just for show and tell anyway, so. Alright, so here we go. This is the brown, the same one that I was telling you about. And here we go. Wow. Goes on so smoothly. Man. I don't like that. I think it needs to be cleaned some, because I don't know. That seems to be fine now. Look at that. It's just and I'm not having a hard time at all with the handling of it. It's actually comfortable in my hand. But coating it, it just seems very, very clean, really even You can definitely feel a lot more pressure coming out of the brush. That's good enough. Let that dry, and we'll be back with the gold. Glorious gold. Okay, back with the Badger, and now we're going to go ahead and lay down the glorious gold. There it is, glorious gold. A little clog there. Blew right through it. It's interesting because the consistency is like using a spray can. I find that kind of interesting. So, there you go. And then we're going to go back with the lighter gold for highlights. Okay, here we go. Lighter gold. That's pretty much it. Of course, I messed up right there. So I touched it, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and add a little more there. Okay. All right, so far I'm impressed with the Badger. The only thing that I am not crazy about, I'm going to show you guys this. In order to clean the product from the Badger, because there's no guard, you have to kind of very carefully hold the tip without sticking yourself. I've stuck myself already several times tonight, and the thing is, it doesn't really get a good seal. So backflows are not always the best. So sometimes you have to use an actual brush to get in there and clean that up really good. Put that in our nasty bowl, and then blow off the rest. And then, like I said, it is finger size, so you can definitely get in there with a paper towel and clean it. All right, so. Turn the compressor off. So there you go, that is the Badger, and we're finished with that. So let's go back up, and I'll share with you my final thoughts. See you in a second. Okay guys, we are back for my final thoughts on the Iwata and the Badger. Simply, I personally am still happy with the Iwata. I love the product. It's been very faithful. It's very durable and just a very overall well-rounded airbrush. It's my personal opinion that if you are a beginner and you want a quality airbrush, I would definitely recommend the Iwata because it does come with the tip guard or the nozzle guard, and it is very ergonomic, really easy to use. In comparison to the Badger, again, the Badger, I was very impressed. I think the Badger did a great job, spraying product. The paint went on there smoothly. I felt like I was spraying with a rattle can. It was just really, really neat, very uniform. The only difference between the two is that the Badger sprays with a higher pressure. Internally, it's regulated for a higher pressure. It doesn't matter how high or how low you turn the compressor. It's just with the Iwata, it won't matter if, well, it does matter a little bit if you put the pressure up, but it's not going to spray like the Badger. The Badger is just, it's just a lot of product at one time. It is controllable, but you've got to have a good control over it so you can spray less, but it definitely is a different amount, and I think it's probably the size of the needle that has everything to do with it. Anyway, again, I think the Badger is a great product. I think it's good, especially if you're a professional or at least you've got some experience with it. I do not, like I said earlier, I do not recommend it for somebody who's new to the hobby, mainly because, well, I mean, I'm serious, if you drop this bad boy, you just lost close to 200 bucks. As soon as you damage the tip or the front, man, you can forget it, okay? It is not my personal preference. I would not go out and get one. If anything, I would go back and get another Iwata. I like the Iwata. I'm comfortable with the Iwata. I like how the Iwata works and sprays. I don't use it on. I don't paint large models. If I do, I'm okay with the Iwata. I can take my time with it. Badger is great for larger projects because you can spray more product in a shorter amount of time. Perfect. I don't work with larger models, you know. So if you got a Titan, this is great for that. If you just got minis, get the Iwata. And that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, I have no issue personally with the Badger. I do not think I would get one for me. I don't think it's a bad product. I just don't think it's for me. Like I said, I went from an Iwata knockoff to an actual Iwata, and I'm very happy with it. So I'm definitely going to move on with the Iwata family. Badger is great. I know that's some of you guys have been with Badger for a long time. You started with Badger and you still use Badger. You're very brand loyal. Giddy up. I don't care about brand. I care what works. This works for me. So again, it's my personal preference. And that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you liked this video. Leave us some comments below. Let me know if you have an Iwata or if you have a Badger. You know, what do you think? What are your thoughts on it? What do you like? You know, have you tried both of them? If you have, what did you like? What you didn't like? What don't you like about your Iwata? What do you like about it? And tell me same thing for your Badger. Really curious. And if you have any questions on what type of, you know, if you're new to the hobby and you want to know more about airbrushes, hey, hit me up. You know, let us know in the comments below, and we'll try to answer you as best we can and try to steer you right. You know, be careful of those people who say, oh, well, you know, people who airbrush aren't really real hobbyists, to kind of cheat. That's bullcrap. Don't listen to that. Really, if you, it's just another tool in the toolbox. That's all it is. Because even though you're using your airbrush you're doing your base coats, your highlights, your shading, you still have to do all of the actual little minute fine work with the brushes. I've got a big old thing of brushes right now, all different sizes, because I still have to go in there and intricately paint small details. So you can't do that with an airbrush, okay? I mean, I'm not painting or you know, airbrushing t-shirts. That's not the same thing. So anyway, so yeah, let us know in the comments below, and we'll try to steer you in the right way as best we can. There's definitely ways of saving money. You can definitely do it on the cheap. Like I said, 20 bucks on Amazon, you get you a good master's airbrush and start learning how to airbrush today. That's pretty much it, guys. Hope you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and also hit the bell. That'll tell you whenever we have new videos that come out, to kind of let you know when we've put them out, so you can hurry up and get to them and watch them and like them again. Just a reminder, we try to do streams every Friday night at between 8 and 8:30, depending on technical difficulties. This Friday, tomorrow, we're going to try to, actually no, the filming is going to be the following Friday. But anyway, just remember, every Friday we try to do a stream. Moving on, every Friday we're going to have a live stream. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. I'm running along here. Y'all have a wonderful night. Enjoy your hobby, and as always, stay frosty.